Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, if you didn't know, stunned the world this week when he praised Adolf Hitler during an interview on InfoWars. It was an extreme culmination of nearly a decade of anti-Semitic comments, some dating as far back as 2013. But what isn't shocking is how we got here. The Republican Party legitimizing him and his often nonsensical views ever since he threw his support behind Donald Trump in 2016. 2 years later, Trump invited Ye to the Oval Office, and it's not hyperbole to say it was one of the most bizarre events ever hosted from a president's office. In October, Fox News and Tucker Carlson held up Ye as a champion of conservative views after he wore a White Lives Matter shirt to Paris Fashion Week. It was later revealed that the interview that was aired was edited to leave out Ye's many negative comments about Jewish people. Then came this tweet from the GOP House Judiciary Committee: Kanye, Elon, Trump, seeming to affirm that these three, I'll call them unholy trinity, perfectly represent the modern Republican agenda. That tweet was up for nearly 2 months. 2 months, even when the rapper brought a Holocaust-denying white supremacist friend to Mar-a-Lago to break bread with Donald Trump, who some consider to still be the leading GOP presidential candidate for 2024. That GOP House Judiciary Committee tweet was finally deleted after Ye's pro-Hitler remarks. Meanwhile, the Anti-Defamation League found 2021 had the highest number of anti-Semitic incidents in the United States since 1979, with 2022 on track for similar numbers. While some Republicans are now publicly condemning Ye, I'm left wondering where the accountability is when it comes to those who enabled him and those who continue not to speak out against the anti-Semitism. This morning, I'm welcoming back to our show Rabbi Barry Silver of the congregation Lador Vador. Rabbi, thank you so much for being here. It's always a pleasure to have you. I want to start with that tweet from the GOP House Judiciary Committee. That thing stayed up until Kanye ended up on InfoWars with Alex Jones. That in and of itself should have been a discrediting moment. But that tweet stayed up until Kanye said that he loved Adolf Hitler, didn't think there was anything wrong. Do you think that enabling of him, do you think it's like an endorsement of some sorts that the GOP is not completely swearing off somebody like Ye?
Well, thank you for having me, and absolutely. The Republican Party has now become the not-see party. They pretend to not see the fascism, to not see the anti-Semitism, to not see the insurrection, to not see the lies, to not see the outrages. And we know from history, when you pretend to not see evil, you are complicit. It takes you over. And so the Republican Party has become the modern-day not-see party. They even have DeSantis passing an anti-Semitic law, which criminalizes Jewish law on abortion. And now their attorneys have the chutzpah, the audacity to say, we don't even get a hearing as Jews to come in and argue our case. They're saying we shouldn't even be able to be heard. The first step towards anti-Semitism in a society is to criminalize Jewish law, which is what the Republicans are doing with their abortion laws. This is an outrage. And the Republican Party, by not speaking up, is now implicated. They're complicit. And the entire party is now going to be brought down. And what's astonishing is that they would elevate someone like Donald Trump. The only honest thing he did was when he went down the escalator and showed what direction he was going to take our country in.
Heading down.
Deutschland über alles was the slogan for Nazi Germany. In English, that's America First. America First is Deutschland über alles. And America First was the policy of anti-Semites and neo-Nazis in the United States that tried to keep us out of World War II. They were allies of Hitler, and Trump used that as the slogan. Trump, on International Holocaust Day, didn't mention Jews. He is a Holocaust denier. And what is absolutely outrageous is not only that the party was silent and complicit in being part of the Nazi party, but that Jewish people, Jewish Republicans, have put up with one outrage after another that violates all Jewish ideals. Everything that we believe in about being kind and being just and being fair, it's all acceptable to them. And Trump said, I could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and get away with it. And maybe for his deluded followers, maybe for his legions of lunatics and his armies of the absurd and his battalions of brainwashed people, maybe they will allow him. But our society never should, because we saw what happened in Germany to the Nazi Party. They brought down the entire government and society. And it is said that those who bless the Jews will be blessed, and those who curse the Jews will be cursed. The Republican Party is cursed. And the United States better not follow suit with that. We have to speak up and repudiate that immediately, or we too will be brought down. We saw it in Rome when they persecuted Jews and destroyed the temple, the society collapsed. We saw it in Spain when they achieved great heights of civilization, expelled the Jews, and the society collapsed. We saw it in Germany. They were the most cultured country, and they went after the Jews, and the country was destroyed. And now it's in America. And America has to decide, are we going to condemn anti-Semitism and speak up? Religious leaders, where are the religious leaders? They're silent and complicit, and many of them are actually going along with trying to impose a Christian theocracy in America, which is what happened in Nazi Germany. And we know what happens with a Christian theocracy. Our founding fathers knew. That's why they erected a wall of separation. DeSantis tried to bring down that wall very graphically when, as the head of state, he joined and visited a church to abolish Jewish abortion law and the abortion laws from everyone else. The founding fathers understood that if there's no separation of church and state, then all of our rights and all of our freedoms are gone. And the Republican Party is trying to impose a Christian theocracy on all of us, and that will bring down our nation and destroy our democracy. And I'm glad that President Trump is finally, former president, is finally starting to be held accountable, because not all of us will allow him to shoot someone or destroy our democracy and get away with it.
Rabbi, I'm speechless, because everything you say is powerful. We need to do something. I don't have a lot of time left with you. What's the solution, Rabbi? Because everything you say, it's history repeating itself. We are on that path. I do not want to see that happen. There's so much hate. What do we do?
And if you don't understand your history, you're doomed to repeat it.
Exactly.
What we have to do is something that's radical. We actually have to have rational faith. The Western religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, were arguing over whose imaginary father in the sky chose them. The replacement theory, that was originally from Christianity. Christians said, we've replaced the Jews. God's covenant is now with us. And then Islam came along and said, no, it's now with us. The conspiracy theory, the original conspiracy theory, was that Jews conspired with their father, the devil, and the ruling powers of this world, the Roman Empire, to crucify Jesus. They made up a story about Barabbas and releasing a prisoner. It's a lie. They came up with a guy who was supposedly betrayed Jesus, whose name was Judas, which is Latin for Jew. So I say, as a Jew, I repudiate the chosen people concept. God is a better parent. And then to choose one group over another. It's outrageous. And we're we're killing each other over ancient literature. And I'll just say this to wrap up. These myths about Jesus, about the Jewish myth of Moses, the Islamic myths of Muhammad, if we allow ourselves to accept myths as true, we'll be killing each other, and we'll be myth-led, myth-guided, myth-informed, misogynistic, and we'll totally miss the boat as far as getting it right. We need rational faith in ideals, and we need to not say that God chose us. All of humanity, all religions need to choose to see ourselves as one family and to see our highest religious ideal to protect this incredible planet and all of its inhabitants.
And can I get an amen? Thank you, Rabbi Barry Silver, for joining us. We have to speak up and speak out, because silence is complicity, isn't it?
Thank you for what you're doing to bring this to light. I appreciate it.